What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to a brand new video. Now today I'm going to be talking about the Xbox Scarlett and the PlayStation 5 specs and news and info and more to come. So recently in the 2019 E3 they announced that, well, Microsoft and Sony announced that there will be an Xbox Scarlett and there will be a PlayStation 5. Now we don't know much right now, seeing as how it's supposed to come out 2020 late next year. It wouldn't be surprised if it was like November, October, November, December, that area. That's usually where most of the consoles out release. But there are some heavy specs that come with it. Now I am reading this off a website. Now let's just get started. For starters, the PlayStation 5 will boast an 8-core, 7nm custom AMD Zen 2 CPU, the basis of a Ryzen 3000 products arriving for PC users next, and a custom AMD Radeon Navi GPU. Now, that has a lot to handle. All that just sounds like it's supposed to be really good for like a relatively decent console size. Now for the Xbox Scarlett, it will also boast a custom next-gen AMD CPU running on Zen 2 and Navi architecture. Microsoft has not yet officially revealed the cores that they will be using, but 8 is likely, since both console features custom-built CPUs. It's hard to figure out which one is more powerful at the moment. Now, currently the most powerful console we have is the Xbox One X. I think this is a bold statement, but I think that Microsoft is, I think they said that it was 4 times better than the most powerful console, which is obviously the Xbox One X. That's a bold statement, just because 4 times better, that's almost up to PC scale. And that's almost hard to beat with a console. So that's hard to beat. Now if we scroll down here to the graphics, they will both be using AMD next gen RDNA powered Navi technology, obviously, like I said, for the graphics. They both are going to be using ray tracing, which is if you ever see the sky in like GTA or like, I don't know, some like nice game with graphics that has like a beautiful sky. Well, they're going to be pushing that even more with ray tracing. Ray tracing allows for the shadows and the skies to not really overload, but like be extinguished into the game so that you can have its beautifulness, you could say. I think PlayStation or Sony is supposed to have ray tracing. I think it's, yeah, ray tracing accelerated, which is even more than what I just said. But they're supposed to have the same graphical features. Now, they are both capable of running 4K resolution games with up to 120 FPS and 8K support. Just imagine that, like 120 FPS. I believe the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X can run that, but that's a lot of FPS. Like that's more than accepted amount. And 8K support. Now the most we've had is 4K with the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro, I believe, but that's just unbelievable. Now, one major difference between Sony and Microsoft is that Sony is supposed to have an SSD drive, which means if you put a disc in, it's kind of like one of those Game Boys where you have the cartridges and you just put it in and it does make a noise. It's kind of like that. You put in a disc, and instead of just spinning and reading it, it'll stand still, and it will make the console run faster, and it's supposed to make less noise. I don't know if Xbox will have an SSD drive, but What I've seen so far is that Microsoft is not going to be having any discs. Like, it's all going to be on the store that they have, probably to make more money. But that's just an idea. Oh yeah, real quick, take everything with a grain of salt. This is not official. The only thing official is that they're coming out with the PS5 and the Xbox Scarlett late next year. So take it as you want. But anyways, so GameStop is not going to be happy with Microsoft. I can tell you that right now. Now there are some games that are like going to be that Microsoft has announced with the consoles, not really with the consoles, but that will be coming out near the consoles. One of them is actually no, just Microsoft has announced, I believe. Microsoft has announced that Halo Infinity is coming out. Now, Halo Infinity is going to be much like Apex and Fortnite, where they will have a 100 player or more battle royale, but there is going to be a story mode or storyboard on top of it with like a huge spectrum of open world layout. It's supposed to be incredible. Now it says right here, Sony Mark Cerny revealed previously that PS5's SSD will not be a standard one. Cerny said that PS5 SSD has a raw bandwidth higher than any SSD available for PCs. That's hard to beat. That's kind of hard to beat a bit. There's also a new patent apparently that's supposed to skip the, well, not skip, but lower the loading times. According to the patent, PS5 will split the game areas into segments and load them in the background individually to allow seamless gameplay experience without any game pause or annoying loading screens. Okay, so I've actually seen this. Imagine where Call of Duty, you got the story mode and you got the online mode. Okay, now what they plan to do is they plan to split the game into two. So where if you only want the story mode, you can only download the story mode, or if you only want to download the online mode, you can just download the online mode. Now it will like almost eliminate the loading times, which it will make the console run faster. As for Xbox, Microsoft has also confirmed that Project Scarlett will come out with an SSD which will provide 40 times SSD performance increase over Xbox One. It's currently unknown how much storage will be offered in upcoming consoles, but we expect it not to be less than 1 terabyte. Now, both consoles are supposed to be 1 terabyte consoles, obviously, because the newer gens right now have 1 terabyte options. Now, actually, Microsoft has two consoles, not really out loud, but they've only expressed one console. There are many names for the consoles, like the Xbox, well, many names for the Microsoft console, like the Xbox 2, the Xbox Infinite, the Xbox Anaconda, Xbox Scarlett. PS5 has gone with the PS5. So they're supposed to be coming out with the Anaconda as well. Now, I might have said this wrong earlier in the video, but the Xbox Scarlett will have a SSD disk tray, I believe, and the Anaconda will, in quotation marks, have a no disk tray so that you have to download it all. I believe I said that, yeah. I said that. I didn't say that in the video. In terms of RAM, Microsoft has confirmed that Xbox Scarlett specs include a GDDR6 RAM, which is good news for Xbox owners. That's because for some reason Microsoft decided to go with the slower bandwidth DDR3 RAM in the Xbox One compared to the faster GDDR5 memory found in PS4 system. Yeah, so the PS4 has the slower, Xbox One has the slower RAM, but the PS4 has the faster RAM, which is weird. Sony has yet to announce which RAM they are using in PS5, but we can expect it to be GDDR6, same as the one in Project Scarlett. So they're probably going to be the same in consoles. The only thing confirmed by Sony that Microsoft has yet to comment has not yet commented on is the support of PlayStation VR with PS5. Okay, so PS5 will support the VR that they already have out for the PS4. There will be new games, hopefully, and everything else that will come with the VR. Now, Microsoft has not yet stepped into the world of virtual reality, but they, in the future, they plan on, not their words, my words, they plan on having a 4K VR system, which that's a lot to handle. I don't know if PlayStation does or not, but that's just a lot. Now, backwards compatibility. This is where things get interesting. Microsoft will allow the Xbox Scarlett to play whatever video game they want. Say they want to play a game from the original Xbox. They can do that with the Xbox Scarlett. Same with the Xbox 360 games and the Xbox One games. Any games that they've put out for the Xbox, you can play on the Xbox Scarlett. Now that's a big winner for some people. Probably because most people are retro gaming and they like playing older games compared to the newer games. Now, the PlayStation. They won't have any backwards compatibility. The only backwards compatibility that they have is the PS5 will be able to play PS4 games, but that's about it. That's all that is with Sony. So the controllers. The controllers for the PlayStation will have, I don't know what type of speakers they have, but it's supposed to have 3D sound technology, which it will come from, like, everywhere. Like, if you have speakers set up, or the speakers on your controller, it will, it's supposed to have 3D sound technology. I don't know if the middle top is supposed to have like a touch screen, but that's what everybody's saying. Now with the Xbox Scarlett controller, I've heard many annotations of this. One is that it's supposed to be a touch screen, which I could see happening, but not really see happening. On the other hand, I just see it like a better version of the Xbox One controller we have right now. Of course, they're going to make elite controllers that cost $150 to $200 just to make good money. But, yeah. Okay, so there is one more game, three more games that PS5 is supposed to release. Yeah. Or that's supposed to release with it. The Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and Death Stranding on the PS5 in the beginning. As for the future, we are likely to see new breathtaking titles on PS5 from video game series like God of War, Gran Turismo, Uncharted, Horizon Zero Dawn, and more. Like I said, Microsoft is coming out with the Halo Infinite, or with the Xbox Scarlett will release with Halo Infinite. Now the price. It says right here, the PS5 and Xbox Scarlett prices have yet to be revealed. However, most analytic predictions that predict that upcoming consoles will sell somewhere between $400 to $800 given the above specs we discussed. I personally believe that PS5 and Xbox Scarlett will cost us around $500. That's not too bad for a console, seeing as how the Xbox One X is like $600 to $700, I think. Somewhere around that range, so that's around typical for a console. Depending on the specs, about how many RAM, like the ray tracing and everything else. It all depends on that. So, I don't know. But I'm afraid that's the end of today's video. comment down below which console you plan to get, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.